There's a version of my life where I'm still working 9 to 5. Comfortable, predictable, and safe. I didn't want that version. This is the story of how one city pushed me toward building something of my own, and how another city gave me the clarity to actually build it. If you've never been to Istanbul, I need you to understand something about this city first. It's not just beautiful, it's one of the most visually stunning cities on earth. And it's the only city in the world that physically connects two continents, Europe on one side, Asia on the other. One bridge between them. There's something about standing in a place like that, a place that literally exists between two worlds, that does something to your mind. It makes you think differently. It makes you believe that maybe you don't have to choose one path either. I came to Istanbul at a point in my life where I had a decision to make. A normal job, a normal salary, 9 to 5, 5 days a week, for the rest of my working life. And I looked at that path and I just knew I wasn't satisfied. Not because normal is wrong. For a lot of people, normal is exactly right. But for me, I felt like settling for a life I hadn't actually chosen. It felt like walking a path someone else had already walked for me. So standing in Istanbul, somewhere between Europe and Asia, I decided I wasn't going to take the normal job. I was going to build a SaaS. I was going to start a global business from nothing in a city that doesn't sleep. Here is something people don't tell you about building a company with no money. You need one thing more than anything else: a place to sit. I needed somewhere open 24/7, a good chair, a stable internet connection. That's it. That was the entire wish list. And I found it, a library in Taksim Square. I spent most of my days there, building, coding, trying to find direction in a journey that had no map. Because that's the part nobody shows you. Nobody tells you that half of building something new is just sitting somewhere alone, trying to figure out what you're even building. And around me, Istanbul was doing what Istanbul does: chaos, constant motion, constant noise. I explored friendships, I explored beautiful parts of the city, but underneath all of that, there was this current of chaos that never really stopped. And here is what I learned about that chaos. When you're in a city like Istanbul, surrounded by that much movement, that much energy, you become psychologically faster. Your mind starts operating on a different speed. Decisions that would take days somewhere else, you make in hours. Ideas that would take weeks to form come together in days. The city pushes you, not gently. It pushes you, and at that time, I needed exactly that push. Then a friend of friend invited me somewhere completely different, Antalya. If Istanbul is chaos and energy, Antalya is the opposite. Beaches, open water, slower rhythm. It was summer and the city had this ease to it that Istanbul never had. I had more comfort there, real connections, a friend who actually had my back. And funny enough, the library idea worked there too. Except the library in Antalya was bigger, better, more comfortable than the one I'd been living in back in Taksim. But the real gift Antalya gave me wasn't the beach or the comfort, it was clarity. Because sometimes you need chaos to start something, and you need calm to actually understand what you started. In Antalya, for the first time, I could finally see the direction of my business clearly, not just build blindly, actually see where it was going. While I was in Antalya, I met someone, a guy doing cybersecurity work for a company in Germany. We sat down for a coffee and I told him everything, the product, the idea, the whole vision I have. And here's what I learned in that one conversation. An experienced person can change the entire trajectory of what you're building, not because they do the work for you, but because they've already walked roads you haven't walked yet. He suggested improvements to my software I hadn't even considered. He told me about a tool called anti-gravity, something Google built to help developers build more robust programs. I'd never heard of it. One conversation, one coffee, and suddenly my product had a stronger foundation than it did an hour earlier. He was open minded, generous with his knowledge, and that conversation taught me something I still carry with me. You don't have to figure out everything alone. Sometimes the fastest way forward is finding the right person that sit down with for 30 minutes. I stayed in Antalya for around 40 days, and somewhere in that time, something unexpected happened. I missed Istanbul. Not the chaos exactly, something deeper than that. The energy, the unfinished feeling of the city, the way it never lets you get too comfortable. So I went back, and here is the pattern I noticed. Every trip between these two cities refreshed my mind, adjusted my direction a little more. Istanbul gave me speed and chaos. Antalya gave me clarity and calm. Back and forth between the two, that's how the product actually came together. When I arrived back in Istanbul this time, the product was finally ready. This time, my relationship with the city changed. I wasn't hiding in a library anymore, trying to figure out what I was building. I was in beautiful cafes around the city, recording videos, creating content, because the approach was different now. My mind had shifted from development to distribution, from building the thing to actually shipping it into the world. And that shift, that's the hardest transition for any founder. Because building feels safe, you can always tell yourself the product isn't ready yet. But shipping, showing your work to the world, that's where it actually starts counting. Two cities, two completely different energies. One pushed me to start, one helped me see clearly enough to finish. If you're building something right now, pay attention to where you build it. The city around you, the room you sit in, the people you drink coffee with. All of it shapes what you end up creating. I didn't plan this journey, Istanbul to Antalya, chaos to clarity, development to distribution. But looking back now, every part of it was exactly what I needed.